Welcome to my class today. Dear students, now I will teach you from the line, have you noticed? I ventured that the trees seem to be moving while we seem to be standing still. I hope you all have kept your textbook with you. Now listen to my analysis from the line. Have you noticed? I ventured that the trees seem to be moving while we seem to be standing still. That always happens, she said. Do you see any animals? Here, the narrator ventured. Ventured means dared. D-A-R-E-D. D-A-R-E-D. Dared. The narrator dared or undertook a risk to do something. Dared means ventured. Ventured or undertook a risk to do something. Have you noticed? Here the narrator ventured asking the girl if she had noticed that the trees seemed to be moving while they seemed to be standing still. Here you see that both of them, the narrator and the girl, were traveling in the train compartment, and in the imaginary eye or in the inner vision, the narrator here visualized the telegraph posts flashing by. Here the narrator tried his level best in order to prevent his blindness from the girl. So he moved easily along the berth and felt for the window ledge. The window was open, and so the narrator wanted to pretend looking at the landscapes. Here, during that time, the narrator heard the panting of the engine, the rumble of the wheels, and his inner eyes, he could see telegraph posts flashing by. Flashing by means passing very quickly. And then the narrator ventured asking if the girl had noticed that the trees seemed to be moving while they seemed to be standing still. Here it is natural when you will sit in the train compartment in the running train, then it seems that, or it will seem that, the trees seem to be moving and you will seem to be standing or sitting still. Here the girl also commented. She said, that always happens. Do you see any animals? Here you see that the girl also tried her level best to prevent her blindness from the narrator. So she also asked the narrator if he saw any animals, because the girl realized that the narrator was watching the landscape, or the narrator was looking outside of the window, and she asked him if he saw any animals then. No, I answered quite confidently. I knew that there were hardly any animals left in the forest near Deara. When the girl asked the narrator if he saw any animals looking outside of the window, the narrator boldly and confidently replied that he did not see any animals. I knew that there were hardly any animals left in the forest near Dehra. Here you see that it is according to the experience of the narrator, that at that place no animals would be left in the forest near Dehra. So the narrator confidently replied that he did not see any animals then, because the narrator knew that there were hardly any animals. Hardly means barely or scarcely. Barely. B-A-R-E-L-Y. Barely or scarcely. S-C-A-R-C-E-L-Y. Scarcely. There were hardly any animals, or there were scarcely any animals left in the forest near Dehra. In this part, you will see that hardly is used in the sentence. There were hardly any animals in the forest near Dehra. There were hardly any animals, A-N-I-M-A-L-S, animals. There were hardly any animals left in the forest near Dehra. D-H-R-A. Dehra. There were hardly any animals left in the forest near Dehra. Dear students, you see that hardly is used in the sentence. Here, if such type of sentence is there, it means that there were almost no animals left in the forest near Dehra. There were almost no animals. Here this is the sentence used in the affirmative sense. But if such type of sentence is to be converted into negative sentence, you will have to give the answer in this way. Make it negative. Suppose the instruction is make it negative. N-E-G-A-T-I-V-E. Negative. Make it negative. You will have to answer. There were almost no animals. There were almost no animals left in the forest near Dehra. Here this is the sentence used in the negative sense. There were almost no animals left in the forest near Dehra. In this way, you will have to give the answer. Here, this is the sentence used in the negative sense. I turned from the window and faced the girl. I turned from the window. Turned means moved round from the window. The narrator moved round from the window and faced the girl. Turned his face towards the girl. And for a while, we sat in silence. The narrator moved round from the window and turned his face towards the girl. And for the time being, they sat in silence. They sat in silence means silence is the noun word. The adverb word is silently. S-I-L-E-N-T-L-Y. Suppose we sat in silence. We sat in silence. S-I-L-E-N-C. Here this is used in the noun form, but if such type of sentence is to be converted using the adjective of silence, what type of sentence will you write? We sat silently. S-I-L-E-N-T-L-Y. We sat silently. Silently is the adverb word. Here the noun word is silence. Use adverb. Use adverb of silence. S-I-L-E-N-C. Silence. If the word is to be converted into adverb word, in this way you will have to write the sentence. You have an interesting face. I remarked. I was becoming quite daring, but it was a safe remark. You have an interesting face. Whose face is referred to here? The face referred to here is that of the girl. You have an interesting face. The narrator here remarked or commented. The narrator here remarked or commented that the girl had an interesting face. You have an interesting face. It is the remark made by the narrator. Interesting face. Attractive face. You have an attractive face. You have an interesting face. I remarked. Remarked means commented. C-O-M-M-E-N-T. Commented. I was becoming quite daring. I was becoming quite daring. But it was a safe remark. Here, now see that both the narrator and the girl were unknown to each other. But in the compartment of the train, just after getting up into the compartment or coming up into the compartment, they were acquainted with each other. With the conversation started from the very beginning of the journey of their of the train. And now see here, the narrator was gradually becoming daring, quite daring. Daring means bold or brave or courageous. Bold. B-O-L-D. Bold or brave or courageous. C-O-U-R-A-G-E-O-U-S. Courageous. Courageous. I was becoming quite daring to remark that the girl had an interesting face. The girl had an interesting face. This is the remark made, bold remark by the narrator. Made by the narrator. But it was a safe remark. What type of remark is this? It is the safe remark. Here the adjective word is used, safe remark. R-E-M-A-R-K. Safe remark. The narrator remarked that the girl had an interesting face. Here it is to be noted that the narrator was quite becoming daring or bold or brave or courageous. Such type of remark was made by the narrator. Few girls can resist flattery. Here you have an interesting face. This is the remark. You have an interesting face. Interesting. You have an interesting face. You have an interesting face. Here, interesting is the adjective word. What type of face is this? Here the face is interesting. Whose face is this? Here the face is referred to here is that of the girl. Here the writer remarked in this way. Flattering remark. Such type of remark is flattering remark. Few girls can resist flattery. Here the narrator wanted to draw the attention of the girl in this way by using such type of flattering remark. Few girls can resist flattery. Flattery means psychophancy. Flattery. Few girls can resist flattery. Few girls can resist flattery. Now see the sentence. Few girls can resist flattery. F-L-A-T-T-E-R-Y. Few girls can resist flattery. Flattery means sycophancy. 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 She laughed pleasantly. Few girls can resist flattery. Now, here, if such type of sentence is given, and you are asked to convert the sentence into the negative form, use negative sense or make it negative. Make it negative. Make it negative. What type of sentence will you make? Few girls can resist flattery. Suppose remove few or make it negative. Remove few. You will have to write the sentence in this way. Most of the girls cannot resist flattery. Flattery. Sycophancy. Flattery means sycophancy. Few girls can resist flattery. She laughed pleasantly. Such type of flattery was used by the narrator. And on hearing such type of flattery, the girl laughed pleasantly. Pleasantly means joyously or delightedly or joyously. She laughed pleasantly, a clear, ringing laugh. What type of laugh? Laughed by the girl? What type of laugh? Laughed by the girl? She laughed pleasantly. The laugh is clear, ringing laugh. She laughed. Laughed means broke into laughter. Broke into laughter. Broke. Broke into laughter. 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 Laughter is the noun word, but laugh may also be used in the noun sense. Broke into laughter. She laughed pleasantly, joyously, a clear ringing laugh. Clear means distinct. Distinct. D-I-S-T-I-N-C-T. Distinct. Ringing laugh. Ringing means resounding. R-E-S-O-U-N-D-I-N-G. Resounding laugh. Resounding laugh. She laughed pleasantly, a clear ringing laugh. Distinct and resounding. It's nice to be told, I have an interesting face. I am tired of people telling me I have a pretty face. It's nice to be told. Here the girl remarked on hearing such type of flattery from the narrator. Now the girl said to the narrator that it was nice to be told that she had an interesting face. She was tired of people telling her that she had a pretty face. It's nice to be told I have an interesting face. The narrator boldly commented that the girl had an interesting face, an attractive face. On hearing such type of remark, the girl laughed very joyously or pleasantly on hearing such type of flattery from the narrator. Then the girl also commented that it was nice to be told that she had an interesting face or she had an attractive face. And she was tired of people telling her. She was tired of people telling her that she had an interesting face. On hearing such type of comment from the persons day by day, the girl got exhausted. The girl got tired on hearing such type of remark from the persons divided. Oh, so you do have a pretty face. So you do have, that is, so you have a pretty face, thought I. I thought. The narrator thought that really the girl had an interesting face. The girl had an attractive face, pretty face. Pretty means fine or pleasing. Fine or pleasing. P-L-E-A-S-I-N-G. Fine or pleasing or fair. F-A-I-R. Pretty face. Pretty means fine or pleasing or fair. Fair face. On hearing such type of words from the girl, the narrator realized that the girl really had an attractive face or pleasing face or fair face. The narrator thought, and aloud I said. Then the narrators remarked aloud, loudly. Aloud means loudly. Well, an interesting face can also be pretty. An interesting face. An attractive face can also be pretty. Pretty means nice. Here the narrator also remarked in the using the extra flattery that an interesting face, an attractive face may also be fine or pleasing. You are a very gallant young man, she said, but why are you so serious? On hearing such type of comment from the narrator, the girl then said that the narrator was a very gallant young man. Gallant means brave or courageous. Gallant means brave or courageous or chivalrous. Brave or courageous. Brave or courageous. C-O-U-R-A-G-E-O-U-S. Courageous or chivalrous. C-H-I-V-A-L-R-O-U-S. Chivalrous. Brave or chivalrous. Courageous. You are a very gallant young man. She said. The girl said that the narrator was a very chivalrous man or courageous man. But then she asked him also why he was so serious. Here, the speech of the girl may be taken and you may be asked to convert it into indirect speech. Then you will have to convert the speech in the way. Now write down the sentence. You are a very gallant. You are a very gallant young man. You are a very gallant young man. You are a very gallant young man. She said, but why are you so serious? S-E-R-I-O-U-S. So serious. You are a very gallant young man, she said, but why are you so serious? She asked the narrator. She asked, make it indirect. Indirect speech. S-P-E-E-C-H. Make it indirect speech. Or turn it into indirect speech. She said that She said that the narrator, here you means he, the narrator, he, the narrator, Narrator, narrator. He was a very young man. He was a very gallant young man. Gallant, gallant young man. Gallant young man, and asked why he was so serious. So means very serious. ACRIOUS. So or very serious. Here so will be removed by the use of very. She said that he was a very gallant young man and asked why he was very serious. In this way, you may convert the speech into indirect speech. But in another way, you may also give the answer. You may write the answer in another way, in the indirect formation or indirect speech. You may write the sentence in this way. She asked. If you convert the speech in this way, you will have to write the sentence in answer. She asked the narrator. Narrator. She asked the narrator why he was very serious. Why he was very serious. ACRIOUS. Serious. Though he was a very gallant young man. In this way, you may also change the speech. She asked the narrator. You may use or you may avoid using the narrator. She asked why he was very serious, though he was a very gallant young man. In this way, you may convert the speech into indirect formation. I thought then I would try to laugh for her, but the thought of laughter only made me feel troubled and lonely. On hearing such type of comment from the girl, it was according to the assumption or thought that the narrator would try to laugh for her, but the thought of laughter at the very moment only made the narrator feel troubled and lonely. Troubled means disturbed or distressed. Troubled means disturbed, DISTURBED, disturbed or distressed, DISTRESSED, disturbed or distressed. Feel troubled or distressed. I thought then I would try to laugh for her. I would try. Here the narrator wanted to laugh for the girl, but at that very moment the thought of laughter made the narrator feel disturbed or distressed and lonely. Lonely means alone. Lonely means alone. 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 We will soon be at your station, I said. We will soon be at your station, I said. Here, I said We will soon be, I said. Now write down the sentence. We will soon be at your station. STATION. We will soon be at your station. I said. Make it indirect. Indirect speech. INDIRECT. Indirect. Make it indirect speech. We will soon be at your station, I said. Here I refers to the narrator. We will soon be at your station, I said. I said that we would soon be at her station. 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 The answer in the indirect speech will be, I said that we would soon be at her station. STATION. At her station. In this way, you may give the answer. Here, the narrator commented that they would soon be at her station. At her station means here the station at which the girl would get down. Here the narrator reminded the girl that soon they would be at her station. Thank goodness, it's a short journey. I cannot bear to sit in a train for more than 2 or 3 hours. Dear students, today I will finish reading the story